party, pull up to the party, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Staying Cool, and today I'm going to be bringing y'all this game, War Universalis. I'm going to bring y'all this tutorial on how to play this. It's a fairly complicated game, and I just wanted to explain it. And I also wanted to know, did you guys want to see a series on this? After I explain this, you can give me your opinion. It's a pretty fun game. I like playing it. It's a time killer and things like that. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and like the video. After you subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell next to the subscribe button so you can know whenever I post a video if you just like watching my shit and stuff. Let's get into this tutorial. Before even listening to all this shit I'm about to say, right? You should just go into menu down here, tutorial, and then you read through this, right? You're gonna want to read through it. You're gonna see all these things. It's like 5-6 minutes of reading, depending on how fast you read. So yeah, so now let's get into the tutorial that I'm about to tell you. So you want to start out, one of your most important things is how much money you're making, because if you bankrupt, then you'll lose all your troops, your cities they'll turn to shit, and then like everything will just be bad, right? So you want to make sure you're balancing your money. First thing you have your taxations, you have your expenses, and you have your others. The first thing you want to worry about is your taxation. Rich people, the way they affect your city is, if you tax them low, then you'll be making less money, but more rich people will want to come to your cities, and that'll make it develop better, right? If you tax it very high, then your cities will go down. And what I mean by going up or going down, you see this little number next to Commandel, Coromandel, whatever it is. Ooh, that's not a good number. But since I have mine on very low, it's gonna raise up, and I'm gonna fast forward until you see it raises up. Boom! It only took 1 month. I'm not gonna fast forward that. So, so yeah. So since I have mine on very low, it's gonna raise up like that. If I turned it up to high, it would go down, so it'd probably go back down to that bad number, right? We don't fuck with that number. So yeah, if you put it to normal, then your cities won't grow at all, but you'll be making more money than if you put it on very low. You usually do that if you're going to war or something. Speaking of going to war, my truce with them just ended, so I could declare war on them whenever I wanted. Let me check how long my rivalry lasts. Alright, it lasts until 554. Okay, the poor people, the way their taxation works is, the poor people, if you tax them too much, then they'll start getting mad, and then they'll revolt your cities, and you don't want that to happen, because if your cities get revolted, then you're fucked, bro. Because, especially if you're developed like this country is, because the higher that number is when you revolt, that's more troops that will be revolting on you. I know that makes no sense right now, but it'll make sense later. If you put it too high, then they'll revolt. If you put it low enough, then you can stop them from revolting. You have military expensive. If you put that higher, you'll have more troops to work with, but it'll cost more money. And if you put it lower, then you'll have less troops to work with, but it won't really cost as much. You usually put it on very low if you're not at war. And when I go to war, I like to put it on normal and put my rich people to normal, and it sort of balances it out, so you can have a bigger army to fight them with. But if you don't have to put it on normal, you don't have to. You can just keep making that money. Research. You have your research here. Let me move my pop filter a little bit back. You have your research here. I'll explain that in a second because it's a little complicated. You have to go into another screen to figure out what exactly I'm talking about. So we're gonna go to the next screen, which is the military screen. The military screen is all about your military. It shows you where your troops are located and how many of them are located in that city. So I have 3,000 troops in Arcot, right? You can see right there, 3,000 troops in Arcot. I have 1,600 troops in Kanara. You can see right there, 1,007. This is 1.7 because it's a little over 1.6. But yeah, and then I have the bulk of my army, 21,000 in Madurai, right? So yeah, that's that. Your cost for your active armies, if I turn this on, it'll cost me $6 per month. But since I'm not at war, that's not really useful to me, because if you have it activated, then your troops can move, but they'll cost you money. And if you have it deactivated, then your troops can't move, and then it won't cost you money. It's basically like your troops are just sitting in town, just chilling, right? AI Assistant. AI Assistant, I'll show you how it works in a second, when I'm going to war with I here. But basically what it does is it moves your troops by yourself to the places that need help. So if any of your cities need help, then they'll move troops there, and if none need help, then they'll go on the offensive and they'll fight your enemies. And it's usually for like bigger nations that can't really handle all their troops. Like say I was the Sassanid Empire, or I was the Byzantine Empire. I can't handle all these troops by myself, so I'll have to use AI Assistant. You have the Naval tab. This is basically just boats you can put in the water, and they're used for defense. I'll show you what they look like. So you press this little button right here, and you have this little boat for your cursor. You put it down right here, and that's the boat. It costs 1.6 per month, and yeah, it's basically just costs 1.6 per month. And it puts a little ship right there to defend you. You usually use these if you're fighting across the water and you don't want their troops to get to your city, so you'll put like a little brigade right here. If I was a bigger city, I could have boats all the way up here, but I can't. I mean, if I was a bigger country. So yeah, you probably don't want to use those when you're not at war. So I'm just gonna do away with this. You have your prestige here. Now my prestige, it is affected because I have 2 alliances, and if you see right, oh, I have a rival and I have 2 alliances. If you see right here, I have 3 out of the 1 relations that I'm allowed to have. I can't have 3 relations, I can have 1. So if you go over your max relations, then your prestige will start to lower. Here's the research. I'm gonna go back to here just to show you. You put more money into research, then this percentage will go up. This is basically how much money you're putting into research. If you look right here, I don't know if you can hover. Current research expenses causes a research bonus target to -2%. If you turn this all the way up, it causes, alright, well, I don't know. That's just probably broke. But the more money you put in here, the higher these numbers can go. So you'll be researching more. Currently it's at -0.6 because that's how much money I'm putting into it. Military research, if you turn it up, it makes your troops fight better. It doesn't improve how many troops you have. Productive research, that increases how many people are in your cities, which indirectly increases how many troops you have. So if you want to increase how many troops you have, you should turn your taxes down to very low, and then turn your productive up to very high. It's going to be the best way to develop your cities. Social here. Social, it stops your cities from converting their religions back to their base religions. That just helps you not revolt. And then it stops your troops from deserting you. That's their religion. Is not, I mean, that's a fucking research tab. This research tab. So now for the revolt tab. You just want to balance these out. You have your religious unrest. I have 1% because I have 1 city that doesn't match with my actual religion, which is Hindu. Kanara is a Tengri city, which is not good. My base unrest, this comes from putting your poor on normal. If you put it on normal, then you'll have -10 base unrest. And then legitimacy, this is how legit your king is. You want him to be more legit. He's only 34% legit because I think I like smashed a maid to have him or something, like some random girl or something. The most legit ones are the ones that you keep in the family, right? Overextension here. Overextension, that just means you have more provinces than you can hold, so you'll get 1%. I get 1% overextension from having 6 provinces when my max amount of provinces is actually 4. So yeah. And then there's your policies. I'll show you policies in a second, but I have to get this war going with I. So I declared war on them. I'm going to show you a little bit of combat here. I declared war on them. What I like to do is if I'm fighting something that's small like I'll stack my troops here, So I's going on the offensive. They're sending their troops here. If I wanted to, I could just look away, run over here, turn on AI assistant. This is gonna cause them to move by themselves. You remember, I did not touch this 14.6. I didn't tell him to go fight. See, he just turned around to fight him, and now they're both gonna go rivalry, and now they're both gonna go fight the city. They're trying to merge together. They're trying to stack back up right now. So now they're stacked up. So now they're gonna go back to Vanad. If he's actually gonna go back to Vanad. Are you gonna go to Vanad? Or are you... What the fuck are you doing? Alright, he's going to Vanad. While they're fighting, I can show you other effects, other rare causes. I don't know what... I've never really seen that. If I ever find it out, I'll make a video about it. I wouldn't make a video about it, but I'll talk about it in the next video. If you guys want me to make a series out of this. So now we're on the offensive. We're killing their troops in their city. We're not on the defensive anymore. We're not killing them as they go to our city. This game kind of works in months. At the end of every month, you could fight them and take their city. So after the 28th of every month, even February, that's when you can fight and take their cities. So yeah, I still haven't sieged their city. You'll know when a city is sieged if it is on fire. So we're gonna give it a little help here and put it directly on top of it. See if we can put it on fire. No, we haven't done it yet, but it's gonna happen eventually. So yeah, that's your revolt. I can show you your policies, poor relief. This affects your development speed. You don't want to do this if you're trying to grow your city, but you can turn this up. This is basically just like public aid, which like helps your poor people. If you can fight corruption, you don't have to, because if I lower this down and I make corruption allowed, I can have -5 unrest, but I'll get inflation and policies. Or I could extensive corruption removal, which will give me 5 unrest, which I'm not really trying to do. So yeah, let's just put that back to where it was. Is Vanad on fire yet? You guys just kill Vanad. There we go. Vanad is now under siege. You can tell because it's on fire. We're gonna claim this land. This is how you annex a city. Annex means you add it to your your nation or whatever. So I'm gonna annex this. I'm gonna demand this. There we go. So there we go. I annexed their nation. If you didn't know how, then now you know how. So yeah, there's that. So I have 10 unrest. You get unrest when you kill somebody's country. That's why I don't really do it as much. You get unrest and you might revolt. If I were to revolt right now, the only cities I keep would be Kongu and Coromandel, and I'd have to fight for the other ones that I probably couldn't do. This would be 80k, 80k, 20k, 20k, 30k, which I can't handle. Policies, your buildings. You can make forts. I'm not going to show you that you can make forts because it just costs so much money. It costs 100 to build a fort. Monthly maintenance is -10, right? It just costs too much to make. National decisions. This is where you can change your flag or change your religion. Changing your flag will give you more max provinces, and changing your religion will, if you have like bad religious unity, and you'd have more religious unity if you just change your religion, then you might as well just change your religion. So yeah, I think that's everything to show in this game. This game's a lot about communication, so I'm gonna go flame this kid. So yeah, I explained it all, so I'm gonna fast forward. I did all the combat I could do, so now I'm just gonna develop my cities, and I'm gonna cut to when something interesting happens. I'm just gonna wrap the video up right here. If you like this video, then you should like it, because if you like the way I do my content, tell me, give me any suggestions you want for my videos or anything. Also, tell me if you want to see a series on this game. It's a pretty fun game. If you want to see a series, tell me. Like to be great, subscribe to be great, share to be great, and I'm out. Deuces.
Whipping all this double bitty chopper. We fuck all you bitches at the trapper. I can't trust you, okay, can you really trust? I can't trust you, okay, can